Oh yeah, here we go, practice acquisition. There are pitfalls throughout the entire process. If you want to buy a practice, this is how, folks.
Acquisition Unscripted, the truth when buying and selling a dental practice. And now your host, Michael Dinsio.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks, everyone, for joining in, tuning in to another episode. If this is your first time joining, welcome, and thanks for tuning in. If this is your last time, I appreciate spending time with me today. But today we got a great episode. Again, this is Dental Acquisition Unscripted, and today it's all things acquisition, and we're going to get into reputation and Google reviews and all kinds of stuff today. And it's so important because when you buy a practice, you know, you're just probably seeing the same things I'm seeing, where sellers didn't really pay attention to this stuff, and it's very important today. As everybody knows, everybody looks at Google, everybody is making decisions based on Google. And today we have a solution to potentially fix that if you're buying a practice that has a crappy reputation. So today we're interviewing a guy named Creed, which I love the name Creed, and he is representing a company called Swell. Big fan of Swell for a lot of reasons, but with that being said, Creed, thanks for joining, man. How you doing?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for the introduction. I'm happy to be here.
Heck yeah. What'd you think about that music on the way in? Were you rocking it?
I love it. It gets you so pumped up. You're like, what are we about to, is this like an NBA game? What are we about to participate in here?
Yes. Well, you know, sometimes I come in and I'm tired, and sometimes I'm doing these interviews in the midday or whatever, right? And I turn on the intro and I'm all jacked. I'm on my fourth cup of coffee already this morning, and let's freaking make some shot. Like, let's shoot some hoops and have some fun right now. But big picture, man. So why don't you just give me the high level of like what Swell is. And I find that I lose everybody after like 5 minutes of just So make it short and sweet, but at the same time, we're going to get into some fun stuff today. So who is Swell? What do you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Swell is a patient feedback solution, really is what we are. So a lot of people know us and love us, and our main side of everything is making sure that offices rock as far as their brand and their reputation online. So across multiple sites, including Facebook, Yelp, Health Grades, but our big behemoth, because it's the behemoth of the world, is Google, is making sure that these offices look great on Google. This matters for a lot of reasons, getting into the technical side of SEO and the ranking process, but then also more on the, let's call it the psychological side of things of, you know, when a patient finds you, when a patient finds you, what are they thinking? I mean, are they looking at your office and saying, is this place like going through a lawsuit right now because you have 1 star in your dental office? Or is it they look at you and they're like, there's absolutely no reason why I should even look anywhere else because I'm 5 stars and I've got 1,000, 2,000 reviews coming in. So that's the high level of Swell, is we're making sure you're looking great, utilizing your patient feedback for it.
Yeah, man. Let's be honest. Google rules the world, man. It's the alphabet crew over there, and they're just like, what don't they control? It's like the mothership. But you're 100% right, folks. If you're buying anything, if you're doing anything, and you're our age, you know, Creed, I'm probably older than you. I know I am, but I'm just trying to make myself feel good right now. if you're, you know, if you've got a cell phone and it's a smart device, you're probably like looking at Google, you're looking at the reviews, you're doing the math in your head, and you're saying, let's just disqualify this one, and let's just ask these guys. And so the business, the people, the brand that does this the best wins. Facts, right?
Yep.
Do you guys do much research on this? Back to the psychological game. Do you guys do research on this? Do you have some data to spit out?
We do, yeah. So we're definitely constantly doing a lot of research around just surveying people, as well as keeping up with the trends of the Google rankings and how they're going to actually produce for you as a dental office or as a business in general. The reality is, and I want to go back to what you're saying with buyers today, or just people today making decisions on who they're going to trust. You are only as good as Google says you are. I mean, that's like you said, they're the mothership. I mean, they basically just control everything. So we want to make sure that you're looking great there. And then going back to that research point is what we find is really, if we break it down, you have to be competitive. Reviews is a moving target depending on where you're at, how populated your area is. So if you're in a downtown area, generally across the board, let's say no matter where you are, in a rural or downtown, the star ranking, you got to be above a 4.7, or else in our brains, we say, I don't know, 4.5 stars. That's maybe a little bit too much discretion there for some bad stuff to happen.
Okay. So 4.7, that's the break.
That's really where. Exactly. So that's where we look at it and we say, hey, you know what? As a human, we say, well, I'm probably going to trust this place. And then going one level deeper into the number of those reviews, because then you look at it, and that's the next thing we look at, right? Is it's 4.0. There's 5 stars, but there's one review, and it's maybe the mom of the person that owns that business. So it's like, what does that even matter anyway?
No, it's the dentist. It's the dentist in an alias. That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. It's his wife, who's also the office manager. So that's where it's just, that's where the volume really comes to play here. In a really heavily populated area, that matters even more than in a rural area. So all these things are moving factors. But yeah, definitely we've done a lot of research around this, knowing, what are these patients or potential patients going to be looking for a practice, and how are you going to actually attract those? And then one step beyond that, on the technical side, is Google even putting you in front of that potential patient, or are you not even showing up anywhere because Google says, oh, you have a 3-star average? We're definitely not recommending you to our users.
Yeah.
And that's the other piece of that equation.
And that happens, right? So Google does control and the world of Google has changed just in a hot minute, where now maps is like the most important thing, where you Google, dentist near me, and it's all the listings from a maps perspective. And by the way, that puts your Google stars front and center, right? Am I off on that? Is that right? Yeah.
You're exactly right. The thing that we found is, and I'm forgetting the exact percentage, but it is the vast majority never even land on your website. They just Google the name. I mean, think about you or I. If we're looking up a place to eat lunch today, I'm not clicking on, the McDonald's website. Like, I'm just looking and I'm just saying, oh yeah, these have good star ratings. These ones have bad star ratings. And then I give a call. So the dental office it's not that much different. You're just Googling it. You're looking at those first 5, 6, 7 search results. And the only information you get on those is the Google review ratings and number of reviews, phone number, address, and an image. And that's about it. And people make their decision based off of that information that they just saw.
That's really interesting you say that, because I'm in dental offices every single day, it seems like, and having these conversations. And most of my clients are making what they do really complicated. Oh, clinical this and jargon that, and this is a medical facility, and what do you mean they're not signing consents? And it's just like the truth of the matter is, dentistry has become such a restaurant decision. like you said, like it to the average Joe walking in the street, they don't value dentistry like we do in the dental community and world. And it's just really interesting because if you get sucked into the dental community, it's like, oh, look at that crown margin right there. It's could be better. And dude, the patients have no bleeping clue. And so the more you understand the business and how you have to make it relatable and how you can win with tools like Swell, the more successful you'll be. They always say that the best dentists might not have the best business, but you could be a terrible dentist and have a crazy good business. And so, all right, so enough about that. Let's just calm down, Mike. Let's just calm down and let's get into Swell. So let's get into the mechanics of like why Swell is better than X or just in general, like reputation. And I will add that we've had clients that have used Swell and saw their Google stars, not stars, but number of Google reviews just explode. And I'll never forget the two clients. If my partner was on the phone, Paula, if she'd be on the phone, she'd know exactly who I'm talking about because it went from like, embarrassing to crazy. And I was like, holy crap, this Swell thing works. So what are you guys doing? Like, let's get into it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. What's the secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
So there's really, I'll break this down to a couple of things here. So first of all, as we look at competitors, so you say Swell versus whoever, XYZ. So there's really, I'm going to break this out to like two tiers of reputation management companies. So there's going to be your premium, top level, top shelf tools. This is going to be Swell. There's really three of us, Swell, and then Podium and Bird Eye are going to be your other ones. And the reason for this is all we focus on as businesses. Now the gap between us three is widening over the years. We're focusing on different things, and I'll touch on that in just 1 second. But those are really kind of your top tier competitors. You're not going to see us sit in the same office. Now the next level down is what most people are going to be utilizing, if we're being honest, is going to be your practice management system. A lot of those are just doing a check the box solution.
The clouds of the world, trying to dabble and do what you guys do. Okay.
Exactly. They say they're the all-in-one, right? And in some ways, they're probably great. We've seen on the reputation side, not so great. It's a little lackluster, as well as, your patient engagement tools that are doing your forms and confirmations, reminders, and any number. Maybe your marketing agency is also doing something. They've built something in-house. These are kind of your second tier check the box solutions is what we call it. So they're not going to get you as good of your reviews are really not going to move much with those types of solutions compared to a premium solution like a Swell. Now, the difference is here, and there's really three main things that Swell does that's our secret sauce, let's say. It really makes us stand out above. So
here it is.
Here's the recipe. So first of all, we're dental specific. So we know dental offices very well. We know the pain points of the office. We know the pain points of a patient, and we can really customize the experience to that. So we have pre-built templates and things built out so that an office can say, hey, look, we need more reviews. Swell, please do your thing. And we just go and do that. We don't need your help. We don't need you to tell us, how your office runs. We know it. We know dentistry. We know what's going on there. So the second piece is here, going off of that, is our integrations. So Swell is a fully automated system. So what that means is we integrate into the practice management software. I think most people are going to be familiar with how that process works, and you probably have experience with that in some way.
Go ahead. With all practice management softwares, do you integrate with all of them?
Yeah, so we cover about 95%. Now there's some really small, really small practice management, but generally, all of your Open Dental, Eagle Softs, Dentrix. I mean, anything like that, and then beyond, even into your specialties, Win OMS, things like that. We integrate with that as well. So we're going to plug right in, and then we pull about 10 fields of data from your practice management once a day. And what we gather is really in detail. And there's nobody else that does this in our field. So we're pulling the procedure code, the provider code, the operatory, your appointment status. What that all allows us to do is customize the messages that go out. So Swell will text those patients that had an appointment today with a highly customized text message. So it has the image of the provider they saw that day. So if you have 3, 4, 5 docs in an office, that doesn't matter. It'll be their image as well as the logo of your office or whatever you want to do to make it feel really comfortable to the patient. We know that information and we can send that over. So it allows us to get highly customized due to the integration capabilities that we have with the practice management systems in dentistry. The third most important thing here is our relationship with Google. We already talked about it. Google runs the world. So we said, you know what? Why don't we just partner with you and you can help us out? So we have a relationship with Google that allows us to have elevated review privileges. So the reason why I would say our main competitors in the premium space, they also do have those relationships with Google. Now we utilize that. Go ahead.
Can I dummy this down for folks like me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So when you say elevated privileges, what the hell does that mean?
Yep. So what that does for us is it essentially lets us reduce friction in any piece of the process. So when a patient gets the text message on their phone saying, hey, thank you so much for visiting ABC Dental. We absolutely love reviews, whatever you want that message to say. They click on the link. That link is powered by Swell.
Phone or otherwise. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So they click on that link. It's powered by Swell and Google, and it says it right there on there. They click on the link. It auto logs them in to their Google account just via some credentialing as far as their name and their phone number and the device they're on. We know their Google account. Google allows us to do that. So it's auto logged in. And then when they actually click their 5 stars, click post, there's no filtration after that. Google says, hey, look, this is a trusted source with Swell. They are partners of ours. We know them. We know that they're good. So then they automatically post that review.
I've noticed that when we get reviews, it takes like 3 days sometimes. That's like, what's happening right now? Like everybody's like, hey, I just gave you the best review. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't believe you. You're saying that stuff shows up right away.
You got it. Yeah. So Google does a lot of filtration. So this is why things like QR codes in an office can fail. Because if everybody's logged into and this is just one example of this, if everybody's logged into the same Wi-Fi network and then they're scanning a QR code at the front desk and clicking post on their review, Google says, wow, this is pretty weird. I don't know why everybody's using the exact same Wi-Fi network essentially to post their review. This could be fake. So then they start to flag all these reviews and never actually post them. So that's why it's important. Those are all the little things. That's just one example of it.
Yeah,
but those are all the little things of, you know what, we need to make sure that so we time these so that they're at home when they get this message. They're free. They click on the link and then they click post and there's no filtration. Google doesn't, realistically, they don't even care what Wi-Fi network you're on. They just know that it came through a Swell link via Google. And then that allows it to just go straight on.
All right, so can you give me examples of like what did you say? What did you say? Integrated? Not non, I don't know. Preferred?
So it's going to be like your check the box type solutions. So think of like your weaves and solution reaches and even your cloud practice management systems, that kind of stuff.
And the difference there is that those companies send also links. Hey, please review us. We'd appreciate it. Give us a 5-star.
Yeah.
And then they click on that And then what? Like I know some of these do some filtering. So if it's a shitty review, that we don't want that one. But if it's a great one, they'll send that one. That kind of thing. Right? What else?
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really starts with the actual invite itself. So with those systems, generally they're going to trigger and send out immediately after the appointment's marked as completed. So if your checkout process at the front office is mark patient as appointment completed as they're walking out the door, which is the most likely scenario, now all of a sudden that patient gets a text message right when they got in the car and they just turned on their ignition. They're not going to leave you a review right then. Like they're already on they got to drive to where they're going. So the timing's horrible generally. Second piece is usually those messages are super canned. So there's no images. It might be even coming from a 5-digit short code. So you pull that up on your phone and it just looks very cold. It's not inviting at all. It doesn't pull on their heartstrings of, I want to leave this business a review. So it just don't even actually click on it.
You guys are mastering that message by you saying that. It means that you guys are mastering that message. You have a scientific process around what gets people to hit yes. Yeah?
You got it. Yep. Yeah. We're just doing a lot of little things to make this text as familiar or this message as familiar as possible to that patient so that they actually feel love. You know, they just left your office. They had a good experience. It's a healthcare industry, right? Dentistry is a caring, emotionally filled thing for patients and the office. So we want to make sure that our messaging is matching with that. And some of those other solutions, they don't do that at all. It's like T-Mobile sending you an update to your bill, and you're like, I'm not trying to click on this right now, especially because I'm about to go pick my kids up from school. So that's where
that's
really
we're mastering that. Yep. I always thought like hit them while they're hot and emotional about it. You're saying that's probably not a good strategy. Give them a minute to get settled while they're watching Netflix at maybe whatever 7, the kids are in bed or something like that. I don't know. I'm making this up right now, but
you got it.
Okay. It's a real thing. All right. Got it.
Yep.
That's cool. I do know that there's a lot of softwares, and if my team was on and asking questions, by the way, I'm noticing that we got 4 viewers today. Great. Thank you. If you've got questions, just put it right in the comments and I can share it here, and we could drill Creed together. No, I'm joking. But like there's a lot of practice management softwares that basically have automation already. So a lot of people and a lot of naysayers, Creed, would say, hey, look, like we can just put the Google review link in whatever XYZ software, and then we'll set up our automation the way we want. And then all of a sudden now we don't need Swell. Obviously you guys are doing really well, and there's plenty of opportunity to do that in dental practices. Like what's the pitfalls of, you've kind of got into it, and it's kind of the last thing that we're going to cover today. And like, what's the pitfalls of doing it the way I just described? Because there's plenty of software. Mango does texting. There's a ton of them. You said Weave. Weave's a phone company. What's the pitfalls there?
Yeah. So really, and first I want to start with this, is reviews is too important a thing to your office to be doing a half-assed job. I mean, it's just not, you don't want to mess with that, because that's your main point of how people are going to judge your office. So you got to do it right if you're going to do it at all. So utilizing another tool as like a Band-Aid solution. It's like, hey, look, I should probably be getting more reviews. Yes, I could go try to figure this out with Weave and Mango and whatever other tool we want to do, which those are great companies. I'm not saying they're not. They're fantastic at what they're good at. And they know that they're not a reputation management company, but they're going to offer you automations because it's other piece of their business that they need it for.
And it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do either.
Exactly. Yeah, they've already built it, right? So it's like, hey, look, as an office, copy and paste your Google business page in there and send that out, The issue is they're not going to go as far as actually timing those review invites properly due to the integrations. Like I mentioned before, the templates themselves, the actual message that hits the phone is not going to be very kind and inviting. And then probably the most important piece here is when you click on a link like that's just been copy and pasted, it's a less than optimal experience. I mean, generally that's going to drop you on a landing page, and then you're going to have to click another spot, and then you're going to have to log in, and then you leave your review. What we find is you lose 20% of people with every click that you add there.
Oh,
so with Swell's process, so think about like Amazon, right? How much have they focused on their one-click solution?
Oh,
right?
God.
It's like books have been written about this. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. It's just you don't want them to click more than once. So that's really what Swell is here for in our relationship with Google.
They have figured out how to just dodge the shopping cart. They've got the shopping cart. But you could click this and just InstaPay. What the hell is InstaPay?
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're clicking something and it's like, shit, I just bought a rubber duck for my dog. He doesn't even like rubber ducks. Like, it's just like, what's happening? So to that point,
exactly,
you auto logged in, because you're right. We're on the Google's business suite, Dealio, right?
Yeah.
The Alphabet crew owns Next Level too. And I've noticed, like, when I share folders with people, they have to log in Gmail, and it's like this thing, and then I get this email. I'm like, dude, how hard is it? But it's like once a week, someone's like, well, can you just send it to me through Dropbox or something? It's just like, that's the perfect example of like, if you guys are going right through that and landing there, I can totally see it. It's got to be easy.
Yeah. We just make this as easy. Think of Swell as just our magic, or the secret sauce of Swell really boils down to there's no friction. There's no friction point in the process. The office, they don't even have to care. They don't have to do anything. We will do everything for you as an office. And then on the patient side, we make it so easy that they've left a review before they even know what they just did. I mean, it's like they just slipped their way right through the process.
And by the way, they don't even have to say anything. They could just hit 5-star and hit go. And then now you got one.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so that's really the goal here.
I can see this, Creed, because and you know what? Maybe I wouldn't be a believer, but I swear every startup, every acquisition, they're all trying to cut costs. It's this new generation, and they just want to save 2 cents and whatever. And I'm just going to get my team to ask. And that's great. The QR codes in each operatory, the dental assistants don't ask, the hygienists don't ask. If they do, it's 2 people. You saw 45 today. Like, man, if there was a process that reduced friction and it went to 100% of the people, and you saw 40 people a day or whatever, you don't have to rely on your team to ask every single time, because let's be honest, the team only asks the easiest people, the grand slams. Oh, Susie, she loves me. I'm going to get one from her. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the only one they'll ask out of the 8 people that they saw today. But the truth is all 8 probably would have gave you a 4.7 or higher.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I've seen it explode. So that's super cool. Any last minute kind of like tidbits, tricks? That 20% per click is a good one, folks. Like, every click, every process, you're going to lose 20%. That makes sense. You got about 5 clicks and then you're going to lose somebody totally, right? So anything else that you could leave us with that might be interest to the audience?
Yeah. So I just want to touch on one last thing, as this is the Acquisition Unscripted podcast, is really, as you're looking to buy a practice, these softwares are fairly new, review softwares, and really Google relying so heavily on that is fairly new. And a lot of the sellers right now in the market are older dentists that maybe haven't done anything online. So the cheapest way that you can build that brand value immediately is through reviews. So you turn on Swell. We're going to be your lowest cost, highest ROI tool you can turn on in the marketing aspect of your office. And immediately you're going to start to see results come out. There's really nothing else that's going to produce like that. Pay-per-click ads get super expensive. I mean, Swell is just a flat fee. You pay that fee, and we will make sure that you're getting tons of reviews coming in.
That's a really interesting insight there, Creed, because there's a lot of conversations about Goodwill transfer.
Yeah,
Goodwill transfer, right? So folks in the audience, you know, you buy something, and you're right. The reputation of the previous dentist is important, and you're trying to earn that reputation. And imagine a world where, you know, you get 20, 10 even quick reviews, and you're inside your first week or two that someone said, oh, the new dentist is amazing, whatever. Now people are seeing that. That's a transfer of goodwill right there. So, touche. Good point. I love that. Well, I'm going to be putting all of Creed's info down below in the description. Creed, if you want to offer anybody anything, please provide me a custom link of some sort. If you want to give somebody some discounts or whatever, happy to put that down below. But yeah, folks, reach out to Creed. He's a great resource. He's helped us quite a bit. And I guess that concludes this program, folks. Check out Swell and Creed. All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
On. Yeah, of course, dude. We had a ton of fun, and let's catch up soon. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you later.
Tune in next time for another truth-filled episode of Acquisition Unscripted. We want to hear from you. Interact with your host, Michael Dinsio. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Comment and subscribe.